you're making a set of consequential decisions, right? As leaders, you're making a lot of decisions. Many of them are like inconsequential. Like it feels like, but over time you learn that most of the decisions you're making on a day-to-day basis doesn't matter. Like you have to make them and you're making them just to keep things moving. But you have to make a few consequential decisions, right? And we had set up the right teams, right leaders. We had world-class researchers. We were training Gemini. Internally, there are factors which were, for example, outside people may not have appreciated. I mean, TPUs are amazing, but we had to ramp up TPUs too. That took time, right? And to scale actually having enough TPUs to get the compute needed. But I could see internally the trajectory we were on. And I was so excited internally about the possibility. To me, this moment felt like one of the biggest opportunities ahead for us as a company. That the opportunity space ahead over the next decade, next 20 years is bigger than what has happened in the past. And I thought we were set up like better than most companies in the world to go realize that vision.
I mean, you had to make some consequential, bold decisions. Like you mentioned the merger of DeepMind and Brain. Maybe it's my perspective, just knowing humans. I'm sure there's a lot of egos involved. It's very difficult to merge teams, and I'm sure there were some hard decisions to be made. Can you take me through your process of how you think through that? Do you go to pull the trigger and make that decision? Maybe what were some painful points? How do you navigate those turbulent waters?
Look, we were fortunate to have two world-class teams, but you're right. Like it's like somebody coming and telling to you, take Stanford and MIT,
Right.
and then put them together and create a great department, right? And easier said than done. But we were fortunate, phenomenal teams. Both had their strengths. They were run very differently, right? Like Brain was kind of a lot of diverse projects, bottoms up, and out of it came a lot of important research breakthroughs. DeepMind at the time had a strong vision of how you want to build AGI, and so they were pursuing their direction. But I think through those moments, luckily tapping into, Jeff had expressed a desire to go back to more of a scientific individual contributor roots. He felt like management was taking up too much of his time. And Demis naturally, I think, was running DeepMind and was a natural choice there. But I think you're right. It took us a while to bring the teams together. Credit to Demis, Jeff, Korai, all the great people there. They worked super hard to combine the best of both worlds when you set up that team. A few sleepless nights here and there as we put that thing together. We were patient in how we did it so that it works well for the long term, right? And some of that in that moment, I think, yes, with things moving fast, I think you definitely felt the pressure. But I think we pulled off that transition well, and I think they've obviously doing incredible work, and there's a lot more incredible things ahead coming from them.
Like we talked about, you have a very calm, even-tempered, respectful demeanor. During that time, whether it's the merger or just dealing with the noise, were there times where frustration boiled over? Like, did you have to go a bit more intense on everybody than you usually would?
Probably, probably, right? I think in the sense that, it was a moment where we were all driving hard. But when you're in the trenches working with passion, you're going to have days, right? You disagree, you argue, but like all that, I mean, just part of the course of working intensely, right? And, at the end of the day, all of us are doing what we are doing because the impact it can have, we are motivated by it. It's like, for many of us, this has been a long-term journey. And so it's been super exciting. The positive moments far outweigh the kind of stressful moments. Just early this year, I had a chance to celebrate back to back over 2 days, like Nobel Prize for Jeff Hinton, and the next day a Nobel Prize for Demis and John Jumper. You worked with people like that.